network cable and connector types. Now, we look at fiber optic cable. It's beautiful. It's got that thin core of glass, fiberglass or plastic. It carries light-based data. And around that thin glass core, we got cladding, little fibers that are meant to protect it, and then an outer jacket, quite often made of Kevlar or similar material. Fiber uses light, beautiful stuff, but very fragile. Now, there are some different fiber connectors, though. There's the ST connector, stick and twist. SC, stick and clip. LC, technically it's a lucent connector, but the exam is likely to refer to it as a local connector, another name given to it. That way they avoid any brand reference. Now, there are some other connectors, and probably the other two ones to be aware of is a FDDI connector, FDDI, and the mechanical transfer register jack, or MTRJ, which looks like a large version of an RJ45 connection. Twisted pair cable. This is the most common out there. It's this stuff, twisted pair. It's got an RJ45 on the end. It's got 8 wires. Now, this is unshielded twisted pair, the absolute most common. No shielding on it, nothing to stop interference, but it's so flexible, easy to work with, bends pretty well. And then there's shielded twisted pair. Shielded twisted pair has a small foil shield around it. It also has a central core to help absorb stray signals. It's more expensive, a little less flexible, costs considerably more, and not as commonly used except for where it's needed. Now, like you said, on twisted pair, you got an RJ45 jack. Now, we also have an RJ11 up here on the slide. That would be a standard telephone cable, standard telephone jack. The RJ45 is a little bit bigger, intended for 8 pair, whereas 8 wires, whereas the RJ11 does 6 wires maximum. Coax. Now, generally found in definitely older networks or cable TV installations. You got that copper core, you have a dielectric insulator around it, then usually a copper braid or similar, and then the outer jacket to help protect it and keep it safe. Technically, coax is capable of higher speed, greater bandwidth, but before we reached those speeds, we kind of gave up on it and moved to twisted pair instead. Now with coax, we have the RG8 or RG58 used in Ethernet. RG8 is used at thicker net, RG58 on thin net. RG58 is a little small, about 1/5 of an inch wide coax, whereas the RG8 is about 1/2 inch wide, usually with a big yellow jacket on it. RG stands for radio grade, and it can be stranded or solid. Generally, it's going to be a solid core, and the resistance is measured in ohms.